Meet me down at the sock hop for a nice sody pop, and maybe I'll show you I'm a real Oliver Twist. We've got 15 questions on old-timey phrases on this special mini episode of the show. This is Trivia with Buds. Be it what? And welcome to a special mini episode of the Trivia with Buds podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Buds. We put out these mini episodes every single Thursday. We put out full episodes every single Tuesday. So if you like trivia, you are in the right place. This Tuesday, I chat with competitive eaters Sarah Reinecke and Johnny One More Bite Rodriguez as they explain to me how they eat 16 pints of ice cream in 3 minutes. And they battle in great topics like Stephen King trivia and Rugrats trivia, if you like the Horror King and a Nickelodeon show, the first Nicktoon ever. We've got a fun mini episode next week that will be picked by one of my Patreon subscribers, so stay tuned for what that topic is going to be. Speaking of Patreon, big special thanks to all my Patreon subscribers for donating to me for another month. I really, really appreciate it. I just mailed out the rewards this week, just the other day, for April, so you should be getting things like a VHS copy of Hook, Spaceballs stickers, and Pennywise the Clown art prints from my friend Drew A. Blank. And if you are a part of the $20 subscription reward, you're going to get a super secret bonus item. Hint, it is Roadhouse related. So if you like Roadhouse, you're going to definitely want to donate $20 and get that amazing special reward. It is Roadhouse related. Roadhouse is one of my favorite movies of all time. My son Tommy has the middle name Dalton because of Patrick Swayze's character's name in that movie. That's how much I love it. You can sign up over at patreon.com/trivia with Buds. Throw between $1 and $20 at this show to help keep making it bigger and better. And I promise that I will do this show for as long as I'm kicking. We're up to $90 a month on Patreon. So if I get to $150 a month, I'll be putting out an additional mini episode every single month just for Patreon subscribers. So you can be part of making that happen. We've got 90 plus other episodes of the show that are all named by the topics that they are about. So you can go back and check out some of these random themed episodes with topics like episode 39. We did some power tools trivia. That's kind of different. Episode 15, we just had Tom Cruise. Who doesn't like a good Tom Cruise movie? And episode 68 was DuckTales with two friends of mine from Australia. So those are some random episodes for you to check out. We're going to get into the trivia of this episode now. So quit being a flapdoodle and quit spitting horse feathers. Is that what people would say back then? Sounds like it. It's time to dive into 15 questions on old-timey phrases. Here we go. All right, the topic today, old-timey phrases. Let's jump into these 15 questions on your favorite old-timey phrases. Question number 1, the phrase happy cabbage meant you had a sizable amount of what? Question number 1, the phrase happy cabbage meant a sizable amount of what? Question number 2, finish the phrase, well, I'll be a monkey's blank. Question number 2, finish the phrase, well, I'll be a monkey's blank. Question number 3, what's another name for a pine overcoat? What's another name for a pine overcoat? Question number 4, dog soup was another way of saying what common everyday word? Question number 4, dog soup was another way of saying what common everyday word? Question number 5, if someone said butt me, it meant they wanted another what? If somebody said butt me, it meant they wanted another what? What do you think it was? Question number 6, what kind of jewelry did a handcuff refer to? What kind of jewelry did a handcuff refer to? Question number 7, if someone was an Oliver Twist, it meant they could do what well? Question number 7, if someone was a Oliver Twist, it meant they could do what very well? Question number 8, what kind of venue was known as a petting pantry? What kind of venue was a petting pantry? Question number 8. Question number 9, did the phrase tomato, like calling someone a tomato, refer to a man or a woman? If you called somebody a tomato, we're usually calling that to a man or a woman. Question number 10. If something was hip, someone might call it the bee's what? If something was hip, someone might call it the bees what? Question number 11. If someone wanted to leave a place, they might say, let's blow this blank blank. Looking for 2 words there. Question 11. If someone wanted to leave a place, they might say, let's blow this blank blank. Question number 12. If someone yelled horse feathers while you were telling a story, what were they implying? Question 12. If someone yelled horse feathers while you were telling a story, what were they implying? Question number 13. What kind of person was a dewdropper? It was an adjective for a person. What kind of person was a dewdropper? Question number 14. What type of alcohol was referred to as panther piss? What type of alcohol was referred to as panther piss? Question 14. And question 15. What food was called a sinker? What food was called a sinker? Those are your questions, your 15 old-timey phrase questions. I hope you did well on those. I'm going to tell you a story about me and an old-timey phrase, and then we'll go over the answers. All right, I'm going to tell you a story about me and old-timey phrases. My grandma, her name was Mildred Finn. My grandma Millie died in 1995. Or maybe 96. It was somewhere in the mid-90s. She was 80-something. She used to constantly pull out these phrases that I had never heard anywhere else. She would always call me a card, C-A-R-D, if I said something funny or was being silly, which I think was a reference to like a greeting card, like when someone would give you a card and it was humorous or something. She would call me a card. She'd be like, Rye, stop being a card. You're such a card. Like if I would trip and fall down on purpose or something. I have no idea the actual connotation of that, but that's what she used to call me. She also used to call me a ding-dong if I said something dumb, which I thought was great. I think that still probably gets used today. She used to call me a ding-dong, which is a great Hostess snack cake if you're from the Midwest. My mom to this day says far out, which was like a 60s, 70s kind of a phrase to use. I think it's hilarious. She's 71. She still uses it very excitedly. Or unexcitedly. She'll just be like, far out. Wow. Yeah. It's almost like her I'm done with this conversation line, like, far out. Yeah, I'm going to go have a Dove bar. So continue on. What are some of your favorite old-timey phrases? I would like to hear them. Hit me up in an email, ryanbuds@gmail.com, and I'll read my favorite ones on next week's show. Send me an email, ryanbuds@gmail.com, with your favorite old-timey phrases, and I'll make sure to read them. That is my quick story about old-timey phrases. Let's dive into the answers for this mini episode. All right, we've got the answers to this mini episode on old-timey phrases. Let's see how you did with all these funny terms and old-school slang words. Question 1, the phrase happy cabbage meant you had a sizable amount of what? That was, of course, money. That was kind of easy to figure out if you didn't know it. Happy cabbage meant you had a lot of money because of the green in your wallet, much like cabbage. Question 2, finish the phrase, well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. That was the answer. I'll be a monkey's uncle. I think I've heard some people say a monkey's brother before, but I think those people are wrong. I think it's uncle. I'll be a monkey's uncle. Question number 3, what's another name for a pine overcoat? This one was kind of clever. A coffin. If you were in a pine overcoat, it meant you were buried in the ground or buried alive, like back in the day when they had to put a string around your toe or your finger. So if you were still alive, they could hear you ring the bell and then dig you back up. That's some scary stuff. Question 4, dog soup was another way of saying what common everyday word? That was water. If you think about a dog bowl and how they slurp it up, they would call water dog soup. I don't know what time period that was, but I did read about it. Question number 5, if someone said butt me, it meant they wanted another butt, and the butt was a cigarette butts. So if you said butt me, it meant you wanted another cigarette. Say that next time you ask for one of those. Question number 6, what kind of jewelry did a handcuff refer to? That was an engagement ring. That meant you were in prison for the rest of your life if you got engaged in the 20s? I don't know. Engagement ring was a handcuff. Number 7, if someone was an Oliver Twist, it meant they could do what well? My first instinct would be to beg. Like, oh, that person's always good at begging for what they want. But it was dance. If they were an Oliver Twist, it meant they were a really good dancer. Question number 8, what kind of venue was a petting pantry? That was a movie theater. That's where the teenagers would go to get their petting on, I guess. Petting pantry, movie theater. I got this idea for this episode because I was doing this round with a bunch of seniors at a senior community that I do trivia at, and they all put like legitimate petting things for this one. So they put like zoo, petting zoo, circus with a petting zoo, but I was looking for movie theater. Question number 9, did the phrase tomato, like calling someone a tomato, refer to a man or a woman? That was a woman. You would call a woman a tomato. Question 10, if something was hip, someone might call it the bee's what? The bee's knees. Man, that sock hop was the bee's knees. Question 11, if someone wanted to leave a place, they might say, let's blow this popsicle stand. I think there's a few different stands you could fill in here, but I think the most common is popsicle stand. Let's blow this popsicle stand. Question number 12, if someone yelled horse feathers while you were telling a story, it meant they were implying that you were lying. You were full of horse feathers, which I think is like a word like poppycock. You could yell poppycock. But yeah, horses don't have feathers, and neither does any truth to your story. That's what they were talking about. 13, what kind of person was a dewdropper? An adjective for a person that meant a lazy person. A dewdropper was someone who was very lazy. Question number 14, what type of alcohol was referred to as panther piss? That was whiskey. Give me a nice shot of panther piss. That, of course, meant whiskey. Question 15, what food was called a sinker? That was a donut. And that comes from the phrase of the guys or gals that were frying them. They would sink them into the grease to cook them. So a sinker was a donut. How did you do? Testing yourself on these old-timey phrase questions. I hope you did well. Hit me up with your score on social media at Ryan Budds, RyanBudds on everything. Tell me your score out of 15. I always like hearing about that. Also, if you like stuff, support this show by becoming a patron. You just got to go over to patreon.com/trivia with Buds. All the funds raised there will go into making this show bigger and better and more frequent. So definitely check that out if you like the show and want to support more trivia in your everyday life. This Tuesday, we're back with a full-length episode, Rugrats Stephen King Trivia. We got some great questions, and I think you will enjoy it, with competitive eaters, Johnny and Sarah. And we got a new mini episode next Thursday. It'll be something fun picked out by one of my Patreon subscribers. Special thanks to all my Patreon subscribers, including Earl Clark, Alex Desmond Tutu, Jordan Zeilinger, Natalie Santiago, Alexis Eck, Fiona Neville, Jess Whitener, and Manny McNelly. If you're listening near or far and want me to plan a trivia event for you, I'll come host it wherever you're at. I'd love to do it. You pick the rounds, I write the questions, and it's tons of fun to entertain your friends, your family, your coworkers. Email ryanbuds@gmail.com. We'll get some great ideas going. Thanks again for listening to this show. We'll see you next Tuesday for more Trivia with Buds. Cheers.